Hey guys, it is Targon, back to do another Raid Shadow Legends video, and today I am doing my first ever champion spotlight, and I am going to highlight a champion who I feel is arguably, in my opinion, the most underrated champion in the game, at least the most underrated champion that I have been utilizing. So this is Astralith. She was I think she was my second ever legendary champion in the game. And I first got her, I took a look at her kit, and boy was I disappointed. I was a new player, I didn't really understand all the game mechanics. But, you know, I think a lot of people sleep on her. And I think part of the challenge is like a lot of the reviews will come from people that have these, you know, massive accounts that have a ton of legendary champions. And so I think, you know, I think there's still a place for her even there. And there's been a few videos I've seen recently where people are kind of realizing, oh, wait, she's actually better than first thought. But there's like kind of an end game way to use her. But there's also a way to utilize her in such a way that I think can boost a lot of accounts. If you get her early on, she can actually be really, really critical for your team. And so I kind of first got her and I was like, what's she got? She's got, let's see, single target, single target, single target. I thought that everything is do massive AoE damage and nuke everything when I was first playing. And then I started learning more of the mechanics and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I need to build her out. So I've been using her really for probably about a year now. And she single-handedly took me from like middle of silver in arena to gold 4 in a month. And I'll show you her kit. She is specially designed as an arena specialist, but she can also be used pretty much honestly anywhere depending on your team. There's better options for the different dungeons and so forth, but I think she can be used pretty much anywhere. So let's get into her kit. So her A1 is honestly, in my opinion, her best skill. This, at least for early game, it's so amazing. It fills the turn meter of a random ally by 15%, and then fills the turn meter of all allies by an additional 15% if the attack is critical. So if you build her out with 100% critical rate, which I have, you are always getting that boost. So just to compare, we have Apothecary. His turn meter boost is 15%. Now his also puts this increased speed, which is nice, but he's not doing much damage. So in arena, his healing ability is really all else he's got, and you're not usually going to be healing much in the arena. So Astralith has this. She does a lot more damage than Apothecary does. She can do this over and over and over again. And then she also has this A2, which this is also a really good skill. I don't want to downplay this, but I love the turn meter boost. But this skill is also so amazing because it places 2 bombs that detonate after 1 turn, and the debuff cannot be resisted, which is so key because in arena, when you get to high level arena tiers, you're going up against champions with a ton of defense and a ton of resistance, so you can't put your debuffs on them. Your nukers are barely scratching them just because they're so ridiculously tanky. And then Astralith can come in and place these bombs on anyone she chooses, and the bombs ignore defense. So if you build her with more attack, actually I haven't put a ton of attack on her, but if you have a high attack on her, these can take out pretty much anybody you want. So you find that like one champion, you're like, this guy I got to get rid of. Boom. You place those bombs, they detonate, game over. And then her A3 is also pretty cool. This helps keep her alive. It exchanges her health with an enemy target. So if she's hit and she gets down to, you know, like below 50%, you just switch this and it swaps with the highest, or it swaps with the target. So you pick the target with the highest health and boom, she's good to go. And then it attacks with her A1. So you might get another critical hit and boost your turn meter again. And there's also this passive effect, which it gives her an extra turn and decreases the cooldown of this skill by 3 turns if her health drops below 20%. So she gets hit and she drops below 20%. She gets an extra turn, and unless you had just used this skill, you'll be able to use it again. So it's really awesome. And then she has this speed aura in arena battles. This is almost as good as any arena speed aura in the game. And if you've been playing this game for very long, you've realized by now, speed wins in arena. All right, so I'm going to cover some arena mechanics in this as well and how it plays in with her. So even if you don't have her, you can maybe take a few things from this and figure out kind of a way to work with it. And also I'll cover how some of these mechanics can also be utilized in dungeons, because I think she can actually be utilized anywhere with some of these mechanics that she brings to the table. So in arena, I'm going to just show you real quick. I pair her with Mashald, and his A2 puts an increased speed on everybody. So between the two of them, I get Apothecary's speed boost. A lot of times I'll vary other champions. Usually I'll go with Syl or someone, but I use Shatterbones. And Shatterbones paired with Astralith is amazing because his A2, and I'll probably do another video on Shatterbones, but his A2 attacks all enemies 3 times, and each one has a 50% chance to decrease the turn meter by 30%. So he can do a top 90% turn meter reduction on everybody, and this books out to 75% chance. So I can have Astralith do her speed boost first, or her turn meter boost first, and then get Shatterbones to go, and he drops everybody else's turn meter. So sometimes my whole team will go twice before the enemy even gets a chance to go, which is amazing in arena. So let's go ahead and I'll show you how that works. And this one looks like a good matchup here. Might be a little underpowered, but this will kind of demonstrate how things go. So the only thing you have to watch out for with Astralith is she won't do critical or place her bombs on weak hits. So you want to get strong hits. Let's see. I do not want Madam putting her debuffs on, so I'll target her. And now Mashald goes. He does a speed boost. And I'll try to take... ooh. His fear got reflected. Fun. All right, let's see. I'm going to try to stun... No. All right, so now let's see if Shatterbones can land this. There we go. And so you see how far down everybody is now. I'm going to get to go again with just about everybody. So right now I could do my A1 to boost everybody, and then literally my entire team gets a second turn before any of their champions go. But I am going to go ahead and place my bombs. And I'm going to target Scarhide because he has such high defense. So the bombs will really do a lot of damage comparatively. And let's try to take her down and go there. And so again, like I'm just kind of boosting, and my whole team here is based on turn meter control and then these devastating debuffs. The bombs didn't quite kill him, but it took him down quite a bit. So I probably should have actually been smarter with some of this, but... And let's see. Try to avoid those stuns. And so right now I'm just kind of using her to target Scarhide because he's the positive affinity, so that will allow me to keep getting critical hits. Now if I target one of these other guys, there's a chance she might not get the critical. Yeah, so there we go, a weak hit right there. But even so, it's about a 50% chance, I think, for her to land a critical anyways. Get him, and I can just put it on auto here. So there you go. Actually, I should have done the bombs. I think they recycled. And there we go. So that's how she works in arena. And so you can use that mechanic. You get the speed boost, and then if you get Shatterbones, Shatterbones is amazing. So I love using Astralith for arena, and she has that amazing arena aura. So now I want to show, and I'll probably stop the recording partway through, but I'm going to show how to work her on boss battles, because I think she can actually be a viable champion. She's not rated well for this, but because right now Clan Boss has gone to Force, and I do not have an unkillable team, guys. I work with what I've got. And so versus Clan Boss, the big thing you're looking for, you want to get a bunch of poison on him. And so you can do that by having a bunch of poisoners, but most of my poisoners are magic affinity. So I am going to swap out one of my poisoners, and I'm going to throw Astralith in. And so basically the way this team has worked, Mashald's going to put a leech on so that I'm able to heal. Also, I've got Syl in there for her passive heal, and she's sort of my tank, so she's going to be absorbing all the stuns. And then Astralith... Actually, wait, let me put... Oh. I need to... Let me edit this out. Because I want to set up her... So I'm going to set her up... Oh, okay, I got it. So she's not using that. So I'm going to go with this team right here. So I have Astralith right now set up. She's not going to use her bombs, which the bombs do a lot more damage, but I would rather have her cycling my team as fast as she can. So just bam, 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 speed boost, speed boost, speed boost over and over again. And I have her built. She is at, I think, 273, 274 speed. And then you throw Mashald's speed aura on her. Look out. So the whole thing with Astralith is you run circles around your opponent. And I don't have an aura skill. That's okay. And here we go. So the speed boost. Now get my team going. Get the Stagnite does his drop defense and attack, which is great. And so now Occult Brawler is just throwing his poisons on. And so the whole theme here is I just keep my guys going and hitting as often as possible and try to get as much poison on the boss as I can. And I'm still playing around with this, and I'm not sure. I might end up being able to do the same amount of damage if I use a different poisoner in her place. But I just recently got Occult Brawler, so I'm kind of trying to see how well he's going to do just doing his thing the whole time here. And so you can just see like all this turn meter boost. It just goes up and up and up. And so my team gets to go again and again and again. And so like you wouldn't normally use a champion like this or think of a champion like this for something, say, like Fire Knight, right? Because it's all single attacks. But when you get that speed boost, you know, when Fire Knight puts his shield up, if she's getting a critical hit on that, well, darn, you're boosting everybody else up, and she might even get to go again. So it's almost like you can get a two-hitter on, especially if you're able to decrease his speed, which is really critical with Fire Knight, decrease his turn meter. And then you can even swap in and have her use her bombs for massive damage. She's also good, same reason with Dragon. She's not a good affinity for Dragon 20, but for the other affinities, you can use her. And I actually really enjoy using her because her bombs help take out the dragon when they do the big breath of death towards the end. The bombs are really, really helpful. And so you can kind of just see, I mean, let's see, we're at turn count 7, and I'm already well over 4 million damage. So this is working really nice. So I use her still. And I mean, I've been playing for about 1.5 years now. And so, yeah, so this is Astralith. This is how I use her. She's just boosting my turn meter. There are some ways to use her, I guess, towards the end. Like if you can get a debuff spreader, you can focus on her bombs and making her bombs do a ton of damage, and then spread the debuff. I think it was Ash did a really good video demonstrating that, which was cool. So if I ever get a debuff spreader, I will definitely try that. You know, again, I'm probably going to start using Arbiter more in Arena because I just got Arbiter, but I haven't quite built her out yet. So I'm still using Astralith for my Arena lead, and it's been great. Like, I've been solid gold 4 for a while now. Occasionally things get really ridiculous in Arena and I drop down a bit, but you know, her speed aura and this turn meter boost is just incredible for Arena. And as you can see here, this is a solid run for me versus Clan Boss. You know, especially consider its Force Affinity is I was one of my weaker affinities, and then I was just like, well, let me see if throwing Astrolith in helps, and it did, because it just cycles everybody so much quicker. If you have like a passive heal like Syl, you know, especially like in dungeon contents, you want Syl in there to stun the waves and give you healing. So the faster you boost her, the more healing you get, and the more you can cycle through everybody's skills. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here, guys. I'll let this run kind of play out. But so this is just how I use Astrolith. If you're fortunate enough to get her, congratulations.